بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم ربنا لك الحمد والشكر كما ينبغي لجلال وجهك وعظيم سلطانك. اللهم إني نعوذ بك منك ولا نحصي ثناء عليك أنت كما أثنيت على نفسك. أما بعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. My brothers and sisters, inshallah ta'ala, what I'd like to do in this session is to give some tips for our students, for the young people who are at home, on how to cope with the COVID-19, with the coronavirus 19. How do we cope with it? How do we deal with this? And as the COVID-19 pandemic has far-reaching implications, and it continues to impact the globe and the world across the globe, it is normal at this stage for people, young people or not so young, to feel stressed, to feel overwhelmed, to have anxiety, to feel worry, to feel fear, sadness or frustration. You might feel angry, you might feel helpless, or you might have difficulty concentrating, difficulty sleeping, or feeling disconnected with others. And these experiences are all understandable. It's very important that you feel that this is understandable, especially in the face of this challenging pandemic, which, as I said, has taken the world by storm. And so therefore it's important to think of some strategies to cope perhaps with this stress or this anxiety or this distress, especially for young people and students who have still studies, whether university or high school or whatever. And so the most important thing to think about is that there are things that are totally outside of our control, and so therefore we should not focus on them. We need to focus on the actions that are in our control. And here are some intentional steps that you can take to look after your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being during this challenging time, inshaAllah ta'ala. The first and the most important thing during this time for young people, and of course others, is to learn how to protect yourself and others from COVID-19. And that is why the Australian Department of Health has recommended important actions, which you can go and find out about. And I spoke about this previously. And these are actions that we all need to take to protect ourselves against infection and prevent the virus from spreading. And these things include, practicing good hygiene, self-isolation, physical distancing. Some people call it social distancing, and others critique that because we don't want to be completely socially isolated. Physical distancing is what is asked for. And so what is also important is to acknowledge these feelings, to acknowledge your feelings. Whatever you are feeling right now, know that it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to feel frustrated. It's okay to feel frightened as a young person. It's okay to feel, stressed. But the question is, how do we manage that? And one of the most important things that you can be doing is to maintain your day-to-day activities and a routine as much as possible within the confines of your house. And having a healthy routine can have a tremendous positive impact on your thoughts and feelings. The worst thing is to feel or to remain in that black hole of stress or anxiety. And what the doctors actually say, one of the most powerful ways that we can fight against COVID-19 is to build our immune system. And building our immune system requires that we go back to the basics. I heard one medical expert say, the thing that the COVID-19, the virus, loves is to have a weak immune system, right? And that which strangles our immune system mostly is stress and anxiety, not sleeping well, not eating well. And so if we go back to the basics, the first thing is eating healthy meals. Don't forget vegetables, don't forget the fruits, but also secondly, physical exercise. walking, stretches, running, stretching, running, or inside the house, and we are still allowed to go outside for walking or running, but importantly to get enough sleep also, and do things that you enjoy. Even if you are in self-quarantine or studying from home, there are many ways that you can develop a routine and stay healthy. One important thing is managing time. Don't ever underestimate the value of managing time. And as we said already before, focus on the activities we are able to do. And don't think about, oh my God, I can't do that anymore and I can't go there anywhere. That brings negativity and that brings you down. So let's focus on the things that we can do now. Focus on the moment. Focus on the present moment. And here are some ideas that might help. You can help yourself through writing, talking with others, or something creative, reading the Quran, learning dua, drawing, painting, poetry. Definitely salah, dhikr, dua can help us stay grounded spiritually in these difficult times. Keep learning, maintain your study, have a routine, read an interesting book that is motivating. That's important, let's not get into reading and watching things that are going to make us more stressful. At the moment, I have started myself reading the book on Nelson Mandela because it's a fascinating story. It's very motivating. The difficulties he went through, but how he came out of those difficulties very strong. Listen to a podcast of something that is motivating, or try something new. Maybe you want to cook in the kitchen, help cook a meal, or learn a language, or or do some gardening if you can. I mean, these are very important things that can keep us on top of things. But also, it's important to stay connected. Receiving support and care from family members that love you and care for you has a powerful impact on us and on the way we can cope with things. Spending time with your family, maybe have a special time during the day where all the family get together and just talk, and not to be stuck in your room as a young person. And this is what happens with young people nowadays. They just get stuck in the room, they're not engaging, and that can add to the difficulties that they are that they're experiencing. And remember one thing, my brothers and sisters, that physical distancing does not need to mean social disconnection. You could call, text, or video chat with friends and family. You can start a virtual book or a movie club. You can join an online group. You can have games online with friends. But also you can contribute. You can show care towards friends, towards family, towards the vulnerable people in our community. You can give sadaqah, you can give charity, find out who are in need so that you can be active. And this is important because it can foster a sense of hope. It gives you a purpose, it gives you meaning. Some ideas, it could include, send somebody you care about a message of encouragement or affirmation. Donate to a cause, make dua for people. But also, very importantly, for us and young people particularly, is to seek accurate information. Often the information that circulates on social media can be inaccurate, it can create more stress, it can create more fear. And so finding credible sources that you can trust is important to avoid the fear and panic that can be caused by misinformation. Follow the advice of the Australian Department of Health. The advice that they give us in Australia is different to the advice maybe the American Department of Health gives to their people. And so we need to focus here, look at fact sheets that come from reliable sources, including advice and support specifically for students. But also, very, very important is to set limits around news and social media. Constant watching of news can demoralize us. And so make a time for yourself where you say, I want to follow up on the media, I want to find out what's happening, but it'll be only this time. And not to be stuck on social media. A lot of negative messages are going around. If you want to use social media, use it to send positivity, encouragement, and not otherwise. And schedule a specific time to check in with the news instead of being on it all the time. But it's also okay to take breaks from conversations about COVID-19. You don't have to talk about it all day. Take a break, talk about other things, more interesting things. The most important thing is to stay motivated. And just one final point on time management. Time management is so important. It allows us to stay on top of things. I recall when I was doing my PhD studies, I found the best time for me was to work straight from after Fajr till midday. But different people work different times. Find out the time where you can work best, especially in things that require thinking, writing, studying. You may find that a certain time is good for you, so you block that time, you study during that time, and then other times can be used to diversify your reading, diversify your conversations, be involved, try to be proactive, and don't just sit in a corner feeling sorry for yourself and sorry for the world, but rather work on the things that are within our own control. And in doing so, we can become ourselves positive, but also we can spread this positivity around us, inshallah ta'ala. Inshallah ta'ala, I hope this is useful. And of course, there is so much that has been written on this that you might want to follow. Again, just importantly, focus on the things that you are in control of and not on things that we have no control over. And make sure that you are looking after yourself physically, spiritually, mentally. This is what we need today. This is what the world needs today, is that we make sure that we don't become infected and we don't become the cause of spreading not only the disease, but spreading fear and stress and anxiety. And we need to maintain, inshallah ta'ala, this well-being so that we can all pass through this stage, inshallah ta'ala, in a way that is good for all of us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept and give you and us the tawfiq to remain steadfast and to be able to set these standards and these schedules and timetables, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair, barakallah feekum, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.